Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Tolkien KLM the interpreter. Really funny video. I have no idea what those words. Not even, I don't know if it's a word. I don't know. It's letters KLM and NRK. I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't know. It's gotta be something. And Tolkien, I have no idea. But you know, it's a funny video, so I'm hoping I'm going to laugh a lot. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe. What country? What year is it? Okay, it looks kind of old. 1980s, around the 80s. Okay, it's a press conference.
Your Excellencies, Ярче Excellencies, honored colleagues, ladies and gentlemen of the press. It's a great pleasure for me today, on behalf of my government, to sign this.
Are they supposed to be spoofing the U.S. president of that time? I don't know, this was the 80s, it was Ronald Reagan, maybe?
Treaty of commerce between our two great nations. Looking back on the long and difficult negotiations.
Okay.
Looking back on the long and difficult. Looking back on. Looking back. Look. Could you please wait until I finish the sentence? Yes, thank you. You're welcome. As I said, looking back on the long. Didn't I ask you to wait?
Oh, it was with Russia, I think.
You're interrupting all the time.
Interrupting, I haven't said a word.
But you're talking all the time. You shouldn't interfere. You're just the interpreter.
I'm not the interpreter, you are.
You stupid idiot.
No!
You calling me stupid idiot, you rat?
Are you calling me a rat, you stupid idiot?
No. He's translating the push. Oh my god. Oh my god. Chaos. Okay, everyone started fighting. Okay. Okay. It was so short. Okay, I want it to be longer. I think this is very funny. I don't know if this is a part of something. I would assume this is part of something bigger. I don't know if this is Tolkien. I would assume it's the comedian or it's the comedy group. I think it was very funny. It looked Russian. I don't. Was this a Russian thing? I have no idea. But it was very funny. I think my favorite part about the whole thing was obviously the interpreter. He's really good. But I think the one earlier on, before the whole thing went crazy, when he was still trying to act normal as an interpreter, being, oh yeah, you know, he was all very demure, just looking, yeah, he says this and he says that. But whatever. I think the whole sort of point of the sketch is quite funny because I always, when there's sort of live translation and with live translators, I think that's a really tough job. I think these days, I think they do this with sort of, they have earpieces. That I don't know if at some point in time they did it before technology, they did it like this. If you have an actual translator that's going to be sort of in the middle of us and I'm going to talk and you're going to translate. I don't know if at some point in history it was like that, but I really do think it's a hard job. And another thing that I think it really does lend itself to comedy, it's because when you start to translate, it looks almost like a children's game because it's, oh, hello, you know, I'm going to say hello, how are you, whatever. And the translator, you know, how does the translator know how to, or when to start, when to stop? Because it's, well, you have to translate everything I'm saying. But I don't know, I think especially in this situations, and of course those are the situations in which you would need a translator, because otherwise I think you could just get by, or in less formal sort of occasions, I think people were a little more casual with the whole thing. But in stuff like this of diplomacy and I don't know your politicians talking and stuff like that, you have to be very again it has to be very polite and it has to be very there's some set of rules that we need to follow. So I think I always wonder again, well, how do translators know when to start, when to stop? Because I think if you're doing the speech, if you in this case if you're the president of the U.S., he was doing very well. Because I think he was okay. I have to stop. I have to. I don't know. You have to separate sort of what you're saying into sentences, so the translator can sort of follow along and know when to stop and when to start. I think you should also, if you're the one sort of doing the talking, I think you should sort of. Oh, I have to stop and sort of look at my translator and see, hey, go on. You can translate now. But I don't know. It's a very awkward situation, and I think it's really good that again. I can think of it can go wrong. Of course, it can go wrong in so many ways, and I can think of so many comedy situations that people can think of this. Because again, it's really you can also. I think there's a whole they're not translating correctly. Of course, that's the first one. It's a little bit of the game of the telephone in which you repeat something because you repeat something to someone's ear and you do this 20 times and by the time it gets to the last person, the whole thing is completely wrong just because it's a game of the telephone and everyone understood something correctly, or I understood something incorrectly, you understood something correctly, and I don't know, it's a whole mismatch of things. So again, it's sort of similar to this situation, although obviously in this case, no, this is the case of the children's game. Well, it's not really a game. I would call it bullying, in which you're trying to talk, and then someone it's repeating after you, and it's sort of, oh my god, that's so annoying, and I get that sort of bullying. So that they went within that sort of road, and they took that path. But again, I think the translating sort of aspect of things, especially I think again earlier on in sort of history, I think it could lead themselves to so many comedy situations that it's good, and they were squeezing this and they were taking advantage because it is a really funny and sort of awkward situation. And besides, it's two countries that they were dealing with. I can't remember what they were negotiating a peace deal. I can't remember that it was something that's supposed to be very important. And again, and you have a translator because obviously there's two countries that do not understand. Those two people do not understand what the other means. I don't know. It's an awkward situation that I think it's really funny. And also, I'm wondering if it maybe happened, if this happened in this sketch. I think it's quite universal. You can put two whatever countries, and it can work. It's sort of universal in that way. But I'm wondering if in this case, I'm pretty sure it was Russia and in the U.S. Was it following some sort of political situation that was going around in this time period? For the looks of it, I would say it's the 80s, but maybe I'm off. So maybe I don't know. Maybe the Soviet Union. I think maybe they were I don't know. There were deals going around at that time, obviously. So that's why they were spoofing some sort of I don't know, some sort of situation that happened, or some kind of meeting between the U.S. president and the Russian president. I don't know, but we'd love to know. Or this was all no. We're going to make this sketch because it's really funny. And yes, and I could see this sort of sketch, I think, is so universal and so sort of timeless in a way that I think you can totally, I mean, the fact that we're seeing this and we're laughing, it means, yes, it's universal in that way, but I think you can definitely upgrade this and you can sort of take this into, I mean, obviously you're not going to repeat every single thing, but I think you can take the general idea of the video and of the sketch of, yes, we're going to have two presidents of two random countries, and we're going to put the translator in the middle, and the translator is going to be, yeah, I'm going to speak when you're speaking, and then I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to translate every single thing. So I think because again, it's a universal thing, and it can work as it was working, I don't know, 30 years ago, and it can definitely still work right now, only with upgraded sort of, upgraded clothes, upgraded, I was going to say uniforms, upgraded sort of look, an upgraded look, and it can totally work. So I know, would like for someone to sort of take this sketch and, inspire, for someone to take this as inspiration and sort of recreate it at 30 years later. Maybe this is quite famous, actually, and maybe they already have, maybe it's iconic. It wouldn't surprise me, actually, because it was really funny, so it wouldn't surprise me that this is quite famous. I want to say Russia, but I don't know, maybe it was a third country, and it wasn't even Russia, and it was just they took two countries that they were random, and it was a surprise third country. But yeah, we'll love to know if there's a newer sort of interpretation. And if it isn't, well, I know this is the time. Please, someone do this and recreate this for a modern sort of audience, because I think it can work so well and it could be so incredibly funny. But that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.